This is bad.
Fellas, I'm starting to think Chelsea isn't in the title race. It's just a hunch, but every week it's becoming clearer. And let me tell you, watching Gvardiol every week is something else. He's a defender on paper, sure, but when you watch City play, you see him popping up in places no defender should be. The guy is everywhere. City just spent £122 million on 2 centre-backs and a forward. But guess who's making the real impact? Yeah, Gvardiol. Meanwhile, Chelsea made some weird calls. Marmoush started on the left wing. Why? The guy had no real impact. Was it his debut? Sure, but honestly, it wasn't a great week for anyone on Chelsea's side of the fence. Morata is under pressure, and for good reason. 1 win in 7 games. That's unacceptable at any club, let alone Chelsea. Football moves fast. One day, the fans love you, the next, they're calling for your job. That's just how it works. If I were a football manager, I think I'd end up resenting anyone who talks about me or my team, no matter what they say. But don't worry, Enzo. I have only nice things to say about you, for now. Oh, and Bournemouth. They've officially declared war on trees. Antoine Simo pulled out the Spinoni celebration, and it was honestly disgusting. I have no words. And now, apparently, this is a red card. I don't know what's going on anymore. Welcome back. Before we go further, hope you're doing well. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Trying to hit 500k by the end of the year, so let's make it happen. Walker's surprise move. Now, the biggest Chelsea versus City event of the weekend. Not the match. Nope, it was Kyle Walker joining AC Milan on loan from City. And the best part, journalists waited for him to arrive in Milan, only to be greeted by one of the Glazers instead. Seriously though, look at the size of that guy. Absolute unit. He's walking around like he owns the place, and to be fair, I'm not about to tell him he doesn't. Drinkwater's betrayal. Meanwhile, Chelsea legend Danny Drinkwater, yeah, remember him? Asked the club for tickets. They said no. So what did he do? Sat in the away end with the City fans. Honestly, fair play. I looked up his Chelsea stats for fun, and wow, they paid £35 million for him on a 5-year contract. He played 23 games, 23 on 120,000 per week. So basically, Chelsea handed this man £31 million over 5 years just to drink water. Yeah, that joke was awful. Still, maybe Chelsea refusing free tickets to ex-players isn't a great look, but then again, they've lost £66 million because of him. I think he can buy his own ticket. How it started versus how it's going. The first game of the year for Chelsea and City was against each other. Back then, Chelsea looked great, and City looked awful. But now, yeah, nature is healing. So let's get into the game. A fast start for Chelsea. Then nothing. Watching City play against PSG, I thought Chelsea might win this. At the start of the game, Kusov looked nervous. A mistake from him, 2 minutes in, led to Chelsea taking the lead. It was a terrible decision on his part. Chelsea had City rattled. And then, they stopped pressing. They had a 20-year-old goalkeeper, full of nerves, and they just let him settle. What were they thinking? The only time they really pressed him again, Cole Palmer got fouled right outside the box. That should have been the moment they realized, hey, maybe this guy isn't comfortable. But no, they backed off, and City started to grow into the game. And honestly, it should have been 2-0 to Chelsea. City lost possession again, but Palmer and Jackson wasted it. Palmer's pass was poor, and Jackson should have taken it with his left foot instead of trying to bring it back. Matches like this are crucial. Champions League spots are on the line, and only 4 points separate 4th and 8th place. City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Villa, all in the mix. Even Forest has a shot, though let's be honest, they're not finishing 3rd. Morata's tactics were a disaster. Look at this image. This is how Chelsea played for most of the match. Sure, maybe at the start, it seemed like a smart approach. City was losing the ball everywhere. But how many teams have tried this against City and won? The answer, not many. Chelsea packed the midfield, trying to give City no time on the ball. But to pull this off, you need a defense that stays disciplined, and against a team like City, which thrives on off-the-ball movement, this was never going to work. City's simple game plan, over the top. City had one strategy, get the ball over the top, and it worked, every time. Gvardiol and Núñez ran behind Chelsea's defenders all game. Chelsea had no clue who was supposed to mark them. The equaliser? Classic. A perfect over-the-top ball, Núñez shot bounces off Sanchez, and Gvardiol, playing like a striker, taps it in. And from there, it got worse. Chelsea was passive in attack but still throwing players forward. Every time they lost the ball, City punished them with the same move, long ball, and they were in. It was like playing Tekken against that one friend who only spams low kicks with King. It's infuriating. But maybe, just maybe, the solution is to stop getting hit by the same move. Chelsea didn't figure that out. Haaland's masterclass. Then, Ederson decided to have some fun. A perfect long pass to Haaland. Sanchez thought he was Manuel Neuer, and Haaland chipped it over him. Chelsea has spent billions, but they're still starting one of the most mistake-prone goalkeepers in the league. This club is cursed when it comes to keepers. Kepa is still on the books, by the way. Chalobah wasn't much better, fell over, looked completely lost. It was embarrassing. But on the other hand, this was one of Haaland's best games all season. His hold-up play was immense, his movement was deadly, and he played like a true 9. His assist to Foden? Brilliant. He bullied Colwill, waited for Foden to make his move, and set him up perfectly. Foden's composure was excellent, but look at Chelsea's defense, just standing there watching. Haaland versus Colwill in a 1v1. 9.9 times out of 10, Haaland wins that. And Chelsea just let it happen. A total collapse. Chelsea fell apart. Tactically, they were lost. Individually, they were shocking. I thought City was vulnerable after that PSG game. I was wrong. Guardiola looked like he hadn't slept in months. But after this game, maybe he finally got some rest. Gvardiol was the clear man of the match. He played like a defender, a midfielder, and a striker all at once.